Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today we're back in Lost Ark yet again for another new class addition. Today we're having a look at the female warrior and the Slayer advanced class. Now this is in most ways the same as the male warrior, the berserker class. There are some differences here and there. I'm not going to cover too much of the advanced stuff. I'll cover the basics of the class. We'll watch the preview video, we'll check the story out, and then we're going to have a look at the customization. The major differences between this and the male variant are cosmetic in nature, if you get what I'm saying. This is by far the most provocative looking class that they've added to this game. And yeah, I mean, even the pose is kind of crazy. It's a looker. This class is a looker, okay? It's probably going to have some pretty fantastical customization options and armor sets and stuff like that. So join me as we jump in and have a look at them. Alright, there you go. I said it. I'm trying hard to concentrate while watching this class swing by in the background constantly. It's distracting. It's distracting. So we're going to jump in. The warrior, as you may know, is one of the easier classes. It wields melee weapons with impressive effectiveness thanks to superior strength and vitality. The advanced class, the Slayer, you can see a preview of it playing right here, has high attack power, dexterity and defense with decent AoE but less support. Well, I'm saying less, it's got basically no support. Then its speciality is the Fury meter. Once full, press Z to trigger burst mode. It looks fantastic. I mean, much like the warrior, the attacks, the special moves, all the effects and stuff are amazing. They look great. And that's like this game's speciality is making you look cool and feel cool when you use those awesome abilities. All the characters. Look at them. The moves that you get to do. Fantastical. I love it. It's literally the best part of Lost Ark. Basically right from the start of the game, you feel pretty damn cool. Right, so we're going to jump in and have a look at the story. Then we're going to do the customization. Let us begin.
O light upon the frozen soil. The spring bloom amidst the bitter cold. You were once the joy of a whole kingdom. And then the last hope for a crumbling realm. But to you, these expectations felt like shackles, your duty a prison. For the king would do nothing but obsess over past glories, and cling desperately to his fading throne.
I shall restore the royal family's honor! Despite being cursed with this single useless offspring, Shoeshire is mine! Forever mine!
The king did everything in his power to leave you helpless. However, fate had far grander plans for you than just being a royal princess of a fallen kingdom. On the day the demonic forces invaded,
Get out of my way, Arius! I will not die in here with you fools!
the king abandoned his people and fled to safety. But you chose to stay and fight with your knights. To save the kingdom that had forsaken you. You answered the call of destiny.
The spirit of frost is with you. Raise your sword and break free.
the sword of Sirius in your hand. You defeated the demons and saved your people. You declared an end to your family's rule and then left through the Radiant Path. Go with honor, you who have been chosen by fate. Though you are no longer our princess, you are still our leader. And so now, we wait in confident silence. We wait for the day that the savior of Arcasia returns to our people.
That's pretty fantastic. I gotta say, the red hair seems iconic. I feel like they could probably use this Slayer as the poster child for Lost Ark. She's just got that look about her, that main character feel where, I mean, the others are impressive, but like this, let's be real, this will sell the game, you know? Okay, we're gonna jump into the customization. Let's do this. God. They know exactly what they're doing when they put that little bounce and jiggle in there, alright? They do. First things first, we're gonna look at stuff on the left-hand side over here. We're gonna check the outfits out. Then we'll jump on to the pre-made looks and then the customization options. I think we're going to throw some random in there sometime as well, so if you'd like to jump to any specific part, just use the timestamps. You'll find what you're looking for. I'm almost certain of it. Let us begin. I love this hair. I think it looks amazing. Outfits. This one's pretty cool for obvious reasons. This one is also pretty cool for even more obvious reasons. The cape is quite nice, actually. The colors are nice, too. This one is fantastic. I think that a lot of the armor and stuff that they do in this game is just so damn impressive. These little bits of fire, like, seeping out through the scales here. It's awesome. It's really nicely done. It sort of reminds me of Deathwing from World of Warcraft in a good way. This feels like it doesn't really suit the Slayer class, but yeah, alright. And this one is pretty great as well. Very shiny. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I mean, wow. This is a pretty singular looking character. Then you can do emotes to see what your character would look like in motion. It's good that they allow that, obviously, because, you know, some of the stuff you'd want to do in-game, and you'd want to know if your character is going to look natural doing it or not. Now, as with all the other Lost Ark customization, you are going to be customizing the face of your character for the most part. Yeah, like the skin color and stuff covers the whole body, but you're not actually changing the body. You're changing the face, the body stays the same, and yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You can choose a background here. If you'd like to be standing in some other location, that's cool. That's cool. It's kind of fluff. It's nothing, really. And you can save presets if you like. The presets are basically just customization presets that you can save and come back to later if you'd like. They will persevere here on your account. So if you leave and come back, they will still be there. Now, let's look at the pre-made looks. We're going to check these out, all of them. And then I think we're going to jump into the customization options. Then we'll come back at the end and randomize. Now, I'm going to zoom in because, as I mentioned, the body itself will not change. We're looking at the face here. Oh, dude, the detail is just insane. Like, if I could zoom in even further here, I would love to do that because of how impressive it looks. One looks at this and you forget that this is an action RPG with a top-down camera. You forget? That is awesome. Wow. Look at those eyes. You forget because of the amount of customization that you can just throw at your character, and because of how detailed the characters end up looking. It's madness. You know, it's funny, I actually see what seems to be like a tattoo or something on this character's face, but it's not actually here. Oh. Ooh. I feel like you should go with the red hair on Slayer. I feel like you have to. It's just too good not to use. So we're going to go with the default look, and we're going to jump into the customization options now. And I'm going to show you what you can do. Now, this is your face shape that sort of determines basically the look and feel that you're going for. There are a lot of different emotions here, and you're going to be picking your ethnicity here too. You know, you're not picking your skin color so much. You know, you can see here the skin color is not changing, but you will obviously just have to keep in mind that some of these faces will look better with certain skin colors that obviously you can change for yourself. Just one of those things, you know? But that's the beauty of these heavily customizable characters, is you can do whatever the hell you want. It's amazing. So you can mix and match. And we're going to go the basic one for now. And we'll go to the advanced settings. And I want to make sure I didn't forget something here. No. Alright. The way it works here is these menus are a little difficult to navigate sometimes. You sort of miss stuff here and there. But I feel like, my personal opinion is they should have put the skin and the skin color here at the start with the face. Because like they make you go through all this stuff, and then at the end they give you the skin, and you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do with this now? Because I've already made this character that looks a certain way, and if I change the skin color, maybe it's just me, I don't know. So, customization options: eyes, eyebrows, cheek, chin, nose, mouth. You have sliders for all of them, and they're pretty impactful. They don't really hold back on most of them. They do allow more movement and less movement on certain faces. Like some faces have naturally bigger eyes, and some have naturally smaller eyes. So you're gonna have to like sort of jump in and mix and match them. This is a free game, guys. You can do it at any point. You can jump in. You can sort of customize to your heart's content without paying a single cent, and that's fantastic. Eyebrows. A lot of emotion in the eyebrows. I like that. It's kind of nice. You can go from like a soft, caring, comforting, questioning look to like a slightly more sly, conniving look with the slide of a slider. You know, you can go from looking slightly more firm and maybe harsh to looking slightly more curious, and it's great. I always feel like the eyebrows are honestly the biggest movers of the mood. Protrusion of the cheeks. Let's have a look. Barely see anything moving there, but it's just because of the angle. There you go. These are those changes that I'm going to tell you like many times as we go through here. They're the dangerous ones that when you're sitting here and you're like, oh, this is not doing much. Or you can sort of see it, but if you move it like that, it's not doing so much. Or you move this and you're like, well, I can barely see anything moving. And you just leave it over there on that side. Then, later, you like playing the game, you're just running down like a place and a cutscene starts, and then you see your character's face from the side. You're like, whoa! What the hell is that? That's not my character. Well, yeah, it is your character, man. You left that slider there. That's what happens to me all the time, man. You gotta check from all the angles. You gotta be sure. And listen, chisel those jaws, guys. Trust me on this one. Give the jaw a shape. Give it a good angle. Strong jaws, please. Strong jaws. Vertical. This is the up and down. Then we have the chin shape. And the angle. Chin as well. Very important settings, these ones. Very important. I'm not saying channel your inner David Coulthard or Brad Pitt or something, but like at least give the jaw like a little bit of love and attention, huh? We got the nose here. Just the size overall. Vertical position. Protrusion. Pretty significant as well. And then finally the mouth. This is just the height. There are more mouth options later. You'll see them. And that's it for the face. Now, again, all of these can be combined. Can be used differently on all these different faces. It'll look different, and yeah, you can come up with some interesting stuff with it. If you randomize the face, you're basically getting different variations of the settings that are available on that given face. And yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. I feel like with the few options that there are here, you're better off just doing it manually. Now hair. Okay, let's move on. Because honestly, it's perfect. God, I'm joking. But like for real, this hair just suits the Slayer so well. There are so many good hairstyles. Now, I am most likely going to make a fool of myself and be wrong with this, but I do think that the hairstyles here are the same as all the other female characters. I don't know if there are any unique styles for Slayer. Maybe this one's unique. I don't know, but I do feel like I've seen it before. So, for the most part, the hairstyles and stuff are the same. You are working with the same, let's just say, assets that you would be working with on the other female classes. And that's fine. That's great, because there is so much in this game, and I really mean that. There are so many hairstyles. Now, I'm not going to do what I sometimes do with the hair and the two-tone styles and stuff like that, because, I mean, I can, but, like, I feel like it's kind of unnecessary at this point, because you guys know what to expect from it. Let me show you, anyway. So, basically, the idea is, if you... There we go. If you set the two tones up, you have a bunch of options here that you can change, right? I'm going to go through them quickly so you can see where the colors would be. Then you can change the length of the certain, if you put the advanced colors on, you can change the length of the white versus the length of the red, the amount that it affects your hair. It's kind of a complex system, and each of these has like its own, let's call it zone, right? Where you can basically add the splashes of color. And it's a really fantastical system, because it gives you a lot of flexibility with, like, basically where you want to add bits and pieces of color. And again, you can customize so much cool stuff with it. Now, I took white and red to just give you like a harsh contrast with it, but pay attention to the different positions, the zones of color that you can have on, and then keep in mind that they can be customized further. They can have more or less. They can be more distinctive or more sort of blended, and you can have like basically full control over them. And it's an awesome system. I think it has one of the best hair systems out there. The only thing I think that is missing from this versus like some other games that I've seen is the modular styles, where you get to like pick and choose different parts. It's like, oh yeah, I like that style, but I'd prefer to take the fringe away, or something like that. I think that this game would definitely suit that style of customization well, but I wouldn't even begin to complain or say, hey, there's not enough here, because they really do have enough. There's enough here. Anyone will find something that they like. The one other thing that I could say is that, you know, possibly, potentially, maybe it would be cool if they added some more male styles here, but they are very set on their gender lock-in, and it is just the way that this game is, and it's the way that a lot of these games have been in the past and probably will be in the future. That's just, you know, it's something that we're going to have to learn to live with. But I do like it when they can give you all the styles on all the characters. Because, like, come on, man. Where is it written that you can't have a female hairstyle on a male? Because what is a female hairstyle even? Let's not get into that. That's a conversation for another video. Much longer video. So, you can do default, plain, single tone hair, which allows you to basically just pick a color, any color, under the rainbow. It's beautiful, by the way. The colors here are awesome. Full RGB. You have the brightness here. And it's just a great system that shows off the colors with so much vibrancy that it puts a lot of other systems and other character creators to shame. This here is the intensity of the hair gloss and the extent of the hair gloss. You can't really see it on, let's say, the red here, but if I switch over to something like black, then you can see the gloss quite clearly. You can go for a full matted style, a full glossy style, and then you can set the extent of it. I think it's beautiful. It's, again, one of the best hairstyles and hair systems that I've seen in a game thus far. We're going to go with the red again, because this is what we're playing. It's like a pinky red. I kind of like it. We'll leave the gloss off. And then we're going to jump onto the two-tone setting. Now, with this one, once again, you get to customize the different parts, the intensity of the gloss and the extent of the gloss. We'll leave that for now. Then the contrast here. This is how harshly they contrast with each other, whether they blend or whether they're fully separate. The blend-in, that's how far the blend-in goes. And then this is the length of the blend-in on the one part and the length of the blend-in on the other part. And you can use this to, once again, just sort of separate them and make it look a little bit more distinctive. I really like the system. Once again, I think it's fantastic. For the purposes of this, let's not get distracted. We'll put the black on because I think that looks awesome. And then we'll move on. Eyes. Now you get to do one eye or both eyes together. I'm going to do both eyes together. Just keep in mind that you can do one separately from the other. Same settings, just you get to do it twice. Iris size, big, small. I wish you could zoom in further. I think that this game would look so nice, even at like minute details. If we could zoom all the way in and look straight into our eyes, that would be fantastic. Colors. This is the eye color. This is the white of your eye. You can change this to basically anything you want. I think that there are some really awesome looking settings that you could mess with here, like black, I think really says something. But we'll leave it on white right now, and then we'll change the iris to something bright. Let's go with red again. We are playing on a Slayer. So red is the color. And then we'll look at the different options here, the pupils. I do wish, once again, we could zoom in, because you would be able to... you know what, let's switch to yellow. You'd be able to see much better what's actually going on over there. Like on a lot of these, there's so much detail in the pupil, but you just can't see it. You can't see it. It's there, but you can't zoom in far enough. And I know that it's there because I have in-game a few times seen the camera like zoom in like all the way, and it's fantastical. It's great. It's really great. So there are some pretty nice eyes to choose from here. Once again, a little sad that you can't zoom in to actually witness them up close and personal. Let's go with something like this for now, and then let's move on to the skin. Skin color, you don't get full RGB here, but they give you, I think, what they feel suits this specific class and style of character and whatever. They do give you a little bit of freedom in that you can make something that looks like a drow skin color, or like an elf, or like a swampling of some sort, or like a statue with like a gray skin. There's a lot here, and once you lose the real skin color, yeah, just reset, because you're not going to find it by dragging around here. I never do, personally. But you can go pretty dark. You can have the warm tones, the cool tones. You can do basically anything you want with that. And you can go super, super duper bright as well. So we're going to reset for the purposes of this, so we can see the wrinkles. Yeah, doesn't help. You can't really see the wrinkles. Even the old ladies in this look pretty damn young. You can see a little bit around the jaw here, around the mouth, on the forehead, around the nose, and probably some crow's feet on the sides, but like barely. Shine of the skin, you can set the intensity of it up and down, and you can set some freckles on as well. Freckles, yeah, leave it. Leave it. Trust me on this, just leave the freckles. They're the best. Then, special settings. Here we have the makeup and the tattoos. First up, the eyebrows. They call that makeup here. You can choose the color of them, and this is full RGB once again, just so that you can sort of set them to match your hair. That's if you want to, or you can just leave them the default color, which I suggest. Then eyes. This is just some eye makeup. What would you call it? Not mascara? I don't know exactly the word. I'm sorry. I don't know these things very well. But there are some really nice styles here. Subtle styles, unlike the tattoos, which are a little bit more eye-catching. And these styles, they come together quite nicely to basically make your character look better without drawing too much attention. Unless you throw like bright colors in there, like this. But, oh, eyeshadow, that's what it's called. It's right there, Lumin. It's right there. So I'm going to set these on two vastly different colors so you can see. And then you can see the amount of customization that can go into it. We're making ourselves look like a damn bird of paradise here, but that's fine, you know? That's alright too. You can do a lot with this, and you can make a mess of your character, so be careful. But it is nice. Blush. The blush is the same thing. You've got full RGB on it, and you have these different blush zones, basically, that have this powder or whatever blush actually is on it. There's the nose, cheeks, more cheeks and covering the nose. Lots of different options here. Then, lips. I always look at this and I think to myself, yeah, this is like the one part that they could really expand on quite a lot and make a little bit more impactful. Although I like it, I just think that there could be more, you know? So the opacity, basically from nothing to full. Then there are a few interesting styles here. There's these ones with the like thinly drawn things on them. The big smudge. And then the stripes. I don't know, but I feel like that one is new. Regardless, I feel like it looks a little out of place for the most part. And then tattoos. Let's go into the tattoos. Lots of different types of tattoos. I may be mistaken when I say this, but I think the basic fixed ones are like class-based. It might be wrong, I don't know. But there are two of them here. That's why there's such a limited amount. Then you get fixed plus, and you can change the color on these. Once again, full RGB. I want to say no real reason to change them right now, because the black is nice and visible, so we can see them. Fixed plus is fixed in place. You can't move them. But plus is more detailed, as you can see. There's stuff like this here. And there's really awesome stuff here. Like, you have a lot of cool options. This one you can barely see up at the top there. fantastical options here. As with all the other Lost Ark customization, they do have a full transformation or two here, as you saw with this one and with these ones. You know, there are these white face ones. There's even an orcish one over there with orcish green. And that is, I think, the only way to get your character fully green-faced. I think it looks stupid because you don't get your skin the same color, but it's whatever. You know, you could figure it out and make something work with it. I do not know if there are any unique ones to Warrior here, but there are some really cool ones. Like we saw this on one of the pre-made characters. And yeah, it's nice options. It's really nice. That's like a barbaric one or whatever. Then we go basic moving. And unfortunately, this game doesn't have a system where you can like add a bunch of stuff to it. You basically have one choice, and that's it. So the tattoo system, I think, is just sort of an extra. Even though they do give you a lot of interesting options, it is just an extra, you know? It is what it is. Like, I don't know, that sounds kind of stupid, but like, you get to do a little bit with it, and just be happy that they're giving you anything at all, okay? These are a bunch of smaller ones that you can move, and I'm going to show you the extent to which you can move them in just a moment. If we take something like the crossover here, you can move, you can make the size bigger, then you can move it left and right, and up and down, and you can even rotate it. So it's pretty cool. Colors, once again, full RGB. You can do cool stuff with this, but because you can only put one on, it sort of stops you from abusing the system, which, yeah, I'm going to be real, it's probably a good thing. Moving Plus, these are some colored ones, or I guess you could say slightly more detailed ones that you can move around, and you can change the size of. Yeah, I mean, sure, like, it's fine. They're okay. You can change the size, you can put them wherever you want them, but it doesn't really make it much more interesting in any way. These are sort of boring. Personally, I like the Fixed Plus ones. I think that they are the coolest, and there are some basic moving ones that are nice too. But that might just be me. Then, our final option here, the voices. Yeah, I mean, those sound like warrior voices. I like them, personally. I like them. They give you a sort of a rough version of the voice lines there, where they like really probably engaged in you know, a heated battle or something like that, which again makes sense for this kind of character, and that's cool. I like the voices. Now what we're going to do at the end of the video here is we're going to randomize a little bit. I think we've covered most of the options. I apologize if I missed stuff. Lost Ark is notorious for having a bunch of like hidden items and hidden settings and sliders and stuff like that. It's a pretty complex character creation system. So yeah, appreciate that fact. Just appreciate it. Now we're going to jump into the randomize. I think that this is probably going to be pretty good. There's most likely going to be cool stuff here. Let's do it. Oh, yeah, man. Immediately we are greeted with fantastic options. So you will notice that they randomize basically everything except the tattoos are used a little more sparingly. And I say that because you will see that they don't really do the moving tattoos. They, for the most part, go with the fixed ones. Like here, for instance, that's two scorpions. One, it's mirrored, it's on both sides, but it's not bigger. So they hold back a little bit with that, but in my opinion, it's probably one of the best randomization systems in any game out there, just because they really throw everything at it. Because in a lot of games, they sometimes just like they remove items and objects from the rotation. Like you don't get to randomize the tattoos or the hair or the, it's usually not the hair, but like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they have stuff that don't get randomized. Like some games it's the beard or the skin color or whatever else. In this, they throw it all in there and they give you so many fantastic choices when you randomize. And for me, I'd say you should jump in, you should randomize first thing you do, and then you should find something that you sort of like the look of, and then you should fine tune it. That's how I see it. That's how I see the best way of using this is. Because there are so many cool options here, and like you can really come up with some cool stuff. Like this one, for instance. I think that's pretty cool. I'm actually going to save that one, just because. But yeah, I love it. I think that Lost Ark, it has yet to disappoint me with its customization options. There's always something good here. And even though a lot of these characters look much the same, they really aren't. You know, if you look at it from this perspective, you got a slightly bigger build on the body, definitely a bigger bosom on the body, and a different pose, different armors, a different look and feel to the character from the other classes. And that's the same for every class. You know, you jumping in there, you're customizing something new, and it's awesome. Same could have been said for the artist. It was a dinky little thing compared to this. You know, you know, great customization, but for real, a dinky little thing. So there you go. I am done. Please let me know if you've been playing Lost Ark and if you've tried the Slayer, if it's worth anyone's time. Do you enjoy it? Is it good? Did you manage to make a cool looking character? Because there are a lot of opportunities for cool customization options here, for real. There are. So let me know. You can, as always, check back here soon for more. As I mentioned, the game is free. You can find some links below for it. But hey, check back here soon for more videos from Lost Ark and other games. Give this one a like and share it and do all that other good stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. Most importantly though, happy creating and customizing those characters. Happy that.